the desert of Caithra wasn't just a landscape. It was a graveyard of ambition, stretching out in a tapestry of rust-colored sand and jagged crystal formations that resembled nature's attempt at abstract brutality. Captain Aaron Vex's starship, currently screaming through the atmosphere like a banshee with a throat infection, was about to become the latest monument in this arid wasteland. He'd been running from the Vermilion Corsairs, a chase that had spanned 3 star systems, only to lose the argument to a lucky shot that clipped his stabilizers. Gravity, that unforgiving mistress, took over. The impact was less of a landing and more of a geologic event. Sand erupted in a golden mushroom cloud as the ship plowed a 100-meter trench before shuddering to a halt. Aaron, miraculously alive, stumbled from the wreckage into a world turning the color of a septic bruise. A cosmic storm was brewing, the kind that promised to turn metal into Swiss cheese, forcing him toward the only shelter in sight, ancient stone ruins jutting from the dunes like broken teeth. Inside, the silence was shattered not by the wind, but by a voice. It was young, terrified, and speaking Catherine. Aaron followed the sound to find her, a girl with skin like polished amethyst and eyes that held the starlight. She was pinned beneath a collapsed pillar. Fear is a universal language, and adrenaline is a universal fuel. With a heave that threatened to rewrite his spinal alignment, Aaron shifted the stone, freeing her just as the ceiling gave way. In the settling dust, she touched his face, her fingers cool as silk. "My sweetheart," she whispered, her smile radiant. "I think you hit your head," Aaron replied, breathless. But before he could assess her concussion, the royal guard descended. This wasn't just a rescue, it was an abduction of the heart. The girl, Ara, wasn't a refugee, she was the crown princess. And Aaron Vex had just complicated intergalactic politics in the worst way possible. The throne room of Caithra was designed to diminish the ego, a cavern of crystal pillars and humming energy weapons. Queen Thessera sat upon the throne, a woman whose beauty could launch armadas and whose fury could incinerate them. She demanded an explanation for why her daughter was clinging to a human pilot she'd known for 12 minutes. "He saved me," Ara insisted, vibrating with an energy that felt misplaced. "The connection, it's like remembering coming home." Enter Ambassador Draven, a man with obsidian skin and ambition that leaked from his pores like oil. He suggested what every cynic was thinking: seduction, technology, mind control. But Master Corin, the ancient royal scholar, spoke of something far more terrifying: prophecy. The bridge between stars, a union of souls that transcended dimensions, a bond that could either unite galaxies or burn them to ash. "I'm just a pilot," Aaron argued, laughing nervously. "I got a C- in metaphysics." Imprisoned in a gilded cage, silk curtains, and a view of impossible gardens, Aaron found that sleep offered no escape. He dreamed of glass flowers singing in the wind, of a life where he stood beside Thessera, not as a prisoner, but as a partner. When he woke, the queen was there. She had dreamed it too. The connection wasn't a teenage crush, it was an echo of infinite lifetimes. When Aaron, Thessera, and Ara touched, reality fractured. Visions flooded them: weddings, wars, choices made in 1,000 other worlds. They were a family woven together by the threads of the multiverse. But in our world, peace is rarely profitable for men like Draven. Alarms screamed. The coup began not with a whisper, but with a roar. Draven, spurned by the queen and hungry for power, launched his insurrection. Aaron and Ara fled through the marble corridors, a pilot and a princess fighting a war they hadn't started. When Draven finally cornered them, he didn't bring just soldiers. He brought a neural disruptor, a device to wipe the mind, to erase the fantasy of their connection and leave Ara a hollow puppet for his regime. The queen arrived, a warrior goddess in silver-patterned skin, but the standoff was a checkmate. Draven held Ara hostage. "Your throne or your daughter," he sneered. Aaron looked at the 2 women he had loved across dimensions and made the only choice a hero can. He offered himself. "Let them go, I leave. No prophecy, no connection." It broke Thessera's heart, visible in the tears that tracked through the silver markings on her face, but she accepted the deal to save her child. Aaron was led away, the weight of 1,000 lost futures pressing on his shoulders. But villains in these stories rarely honor their debts. In the detention cell of Draven's commandeered flagship, the ambassador revealed his true colors. There would be no exile. Aaron would die, and Draven would force Thessera into marriage, breaking her spirit by destroying the man she was destined to love. "You think you can kill what spans dimensions?" Aaron asked, wiping blood from his lip. "Watch me," Draven replied. But he had forgotten one variable. A queen does not bow. The door exploded inward. Thessera didn't just enter, she arrived like a natural disaster. She dropped Draven with a precision strike, her loyalists swarming the ship. She wasn't there to save a political asset, she was there to save her choice. "I choose you," she told Aaron, unlocking his cuffs. "Not because of prophecy, but because across infinite possibilities, you are the one who sacrificed everything for strangers." Yet, the danger wasn't over. Draven's fleet surrounded them, 36 ships against one. The orbital guns were charging. They were outgunned, trapped, and running out of time. It is in these moments, when the math says you are dead, that you have to change the equation entirely. The energy, Aaron realized, looking at Corin. The manifestation when we touch, can we broadcast it? It was reckless. It was theoretically impossible. It was their only shot. They rigged the ship's communication array to channel the raw psychic feedback of their connection. As the enemy fleet hailed them, demanding surrender, the three of them, human, queen, and heir, joined hands. The universe held its breath. Energy didn't just surge, it detonated. The crystals sang, the lights blinded, and a wave of pure, undiluted empathy washed out from the ship, sweeping across the planet and into the void. It wasn't a message in words, it was a message in feeling. Every soldier, every civilian, every pilot in Draven's fleet suddenly knew asterisk. They felt the memories of 1,000 lifetimes. They felt the warmth of peace between species, the joy of mixed families, the terrible, hollow cold of the war Draven wanted to unleash. They saw the choice, not a political abstract, but a visceral reality. On the command deck, Aaron saw it all, the lives where they grew old, the lives where they burned, the lives where they built paradise. The energy peaked, a symphony of light and soul that blurred the lines between individual and infinite. When the light faded, the silence that followed wasn't empty, it was heavy with understanding. One by one, Draven's ships powered down their weapons. The soldiers on the ground lowered their rifles. The broadcast hadn't just jammed their sensors, it had disarmed their hate. In the end, Draven was defeated not by firepower, but by the undeniable truth of a shared future. As Aaron stood there, flanked by the queen and the princess, he realized that some crashes are actually landings, and some ruins are just foundations waiting for the right architects. The desert of Caithra stretched out beneath them, no longer a graveyard, but a canvas for something new. A bridge between stars, built on the radical, dangerous idea that we are not alone in the dark.